Golden State Media Concepts social media podcast. Time to hashtag everything. We talk about all the fun, crazy stories on social media. From Instagram to Facebook, Twitter to Tumblr, or probably even Friendster. Join us each week as we explore the quirky side of social media. It's the Golden State Media Concepts social media podcast.
It's simple, such a sad song. The one that we rely on to get us.
Hello and welcome to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Heidi, and I'm joined by the lovely Ariane.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Heidi.
Oh, my pleasure. We are talking about some fun social media news stories. I want to start by one for all of those people on Instagram, myself included. I did not notice this because it was the holidays and I was not spending all of my time on social media.
Right.
I was trying to actually socialize in like real life.
Right.
But this was a huge issue that people like blew up about. Mm-hmm. And it's because Instagram very briefly switched to a horizontal feed, like as opposed to the normal vertical scrolling feed. Yeah, people freaked out. Instagram switched because they were testing a horizontal feed for some users. And this was a big shift from the vertical scrolling that people have been used to basically since the app launched.
Right.
And they had the company Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, had previously been testing the feature back in October in like the Explore section of the app. So not on your like private feed.
Right.
I don't know what the right name for that is, but on the one where people that you follow are on. But they were trying to roll it out more widely to users like main feeds. And that happened on December 27th is when they rolled it out to so basically all of your feeds. So not just the Explorer, but also just your normal user like main feed. Mm-hmm. And the news feed turned like basically the news feed turns all posts into a single giant Instagram story. So like you tap to advance. And there's a scrolling bar at the top to show how far you've progressed,
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because this is a big change from what normal Instagram is, what everyone's grown accustomed to, basically. So, like, if you know on Instagram, they're the stories, you tap to get to the next story, or you can just, like, slide out of it or whatever. But they were changing that so that your feed is like that. You just tap to go as opposed to scrolling through. Also, I am making all these hand gestures. I realize none of you can see it.
She is.
Ariane,
She's like tapping air.
I'm like, this is helping me figure out what it was like.
Yeah.
This is how foreign it is. I have to like work out the mechanics.
Right. Because most of us are just like slide with our thumbs or our fingers. So it's just like, why are we tapping?
Right.
I don't know.
And that's what I feel like that's like the joke. Like you're just like scrolling through.
Yeah.
That's what we're all used to. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Big change. And so with the horizontal feed, each photo or even each ad, because you'll get ads on your Instagram.
Right.
Each photo or ad is given a spotlight. So like you just see one at a time. And this helps you view like a single post, and comments are more prominent. They appear if you like flick upward.
Oh, wow.
Apparently. I also think like this is just harder to go through your news feed.
Right.
It's not as fast.
And I don't think that's what Instagram initially was intended for. It's like, look at the picture. If you want to read the comment, you can, or commentary, whatever, you can. But most people are just sliding to see what they see anyway. They're not trying to like tap, and this isn't a book. This isn't a magazine. Like we can flip and turn with a magazine. It's ridiculous.
I also feel like people scroll very quickly through.
Yeah.
I don't think people want to take the time to pause on each image.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think it's going to catch on. But
I hope it doesn't anyway. I didn't notice it.
Yeah, I didn't. It like came and went very quickly. It's also like harder to go quickly through your feed. You can advance only a single post at a time. You can't just like fly through it. Also, in the new in the like the newer layout that again they had come on and then they took away, stories would be easier to access with like a bar that is now always available by like swooping down instead of requiring that you scroll all the way to the top of the feed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, I mean, normally if you're trying to find stories, you have to scroll all the way up,
right,
or like tap back on your main feed button. But this would keep it always at the bottom, that you can just like flip up to see. Also, the horizontal layout seems to affect the main feed. So if you like tap into your user's individual profile, but I like if you go into your profile, that would appear the same. Well, you can still do the vertical like scrolling like on your account.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't affect that. But I also feel like that's not used as often.
Right.
Because you're not just like searching through.
Yeah.
That's weird to just look at your stuff.
I know. And if you do that, it's like, why are you looking at your own?
Right. That's like extreme narcissism.
Exactly.
Just to look at your own pictures. That's like what Kanye does. But I feel like normal people don't.
I know, right? It's like, look what I posted 5 months ago.
Exactly.
Who cares?
I feel like the rest of us use the other features more.
Right, exactly.
Which is obviously why people were so upset about it. The Instagram head, Adam Mosseri, commented on Twitter that the horizontal feed was meant to be a small test that went broader than anticipated. But then a Facebook spokesperson contradicted that and said that due to a bug, some users saw a change to the way their feed normally appears, but then said that we quickly fixed the issue and feed is back to normal. We apologize for any confusion.
So one is saying it was a bug, the other one's saying it was a test.
Yeah, basically.
Well, get your story right, guys.
I know, that's not good for PR.
Yeah, either way, it was horrible.
Yeah, everyone was upset, no matter what you were trying to do. And only a few minutes after the horizontal feed went live, the older vertical feed came back. Probably because everyone was so pissed about it.
Right, exactly.
But even if it was like an accident, it seems that Instagram is taking the horizontal feed seriously, and it may not be long before they actually roll out the horizontal feed on devices for good.
That would be annoying, I think, because it's like nobody wants that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it'd be interesting. I think that, I don't know, I personally wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that would make Instagram less of what you're used to, because it's kind of like a scrolling gallery.
Yeah.
Where you can really easily go through. I keep doing it because I'm so used to the motion.
Right?
I keep doing it even to the air because I do it so often, which is sad. But
it really is.
too much of my time, too much of my muscles power. But I don't know. I feel like people aren't going to like that.
No.
And I don't like the fact that I will see ads like full up on my screen and I have to tap out of them.
Seriously, that's annoying already, especially even on Facebook too, when you're just like, you have to still scroll past those ads or swipe them away or whatever. So unless they're trying to do this as a phase out for Instagram, because I heard they were trying to do a phase out and just make it strictly Facebook still because of some things
Facebook was trying to probably because Instagram is its competition, but they bought Instagram.
Well, they bought it, but I don't think it's been doing like super great like how they wanted to, because after they incorporated all the Facebook things with Instagram after the two co-owners left, I think we did a social media story about that. But yeah, after they left and then they started incorporating all the Facebook things, it hasn't been doing as well as it usually does.
Interesting. And we did also talk about here in the podcast about how they're focusing more on like direct messages. Yeah. Which again is like so texting. But
yeah, I know it is.
I don't know. I guess people like that private like messaging form, and people are just like coming back to it like, oh yeah, it is bad if I post way too many personal things on social media. I should just go back to direct messaging. Apparently people are favoring that more, and that's what Instagram's main use has become. Think about all those like poor homeless Instagram models. What are they going to do?
I know.
After their livelihood leaves.
Yeah.
They're just going to start making ads for us or something for like Facebook or whatever.
I know, gosh. And everything's connected too. So you can like connect your whole Facebook to your Instagram or Twitter or anything. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. This is crazy though.
That's weird that they would. I could see Facebook wanting to like phase out Instagram and just make it Facebook, because I don't know, they're just like
just focus
like
on
themselves that way,
right? Well, they even started like with Instagram making it similar to like Snapchat and all that.
Yeah,
with, like the stories or the IGTV stuff like that. And the stupid little. Now they have like if you swipe to the right or to the left. Which way is that way? To the right. Sorry, guys. But it's like Almost like Snapchat, where you have like the little things that
the filters.
Yeah, all these weird filters and things. So I don't know
because they couldn't buy Snapchats. They're trying to make Instagram
probably
Snapchat.
So. Yeah.
But I mean, even Facebook Messenger has the stories.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And it has those filters too.
Yep.
So
they're trying to do so much.
Dang it, Facebook.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Zuckerberg will come in and change however he wants.
I know.
we'll just be slaves to whatever he puts out next.
Pretty much.
I don't know. But before we go into a break and go on to our next story, I just want to mention a great deal that we have going on right now with Audible. If you like books but don't have the time to sit down and read, you will enjoy listening to Audible. There's a great deal, which is a 30-day trial, and your first audiobook is free. To get this deal, go to audible.com/social or go to audible.com/GSMC social or text GSMC social to 500-500. Again, that is audible.com/GSMC social or text GSMC social to 500-500. Again, this is a great deal, and please hold tight. We go into a break, and then we'll be right back with some more social media news stories.
What happens to your decision-making when you drink? Well, after one drink, you feel confident. A few more, and calling your ex at 1 a.m. seems like a great idea. And you're pretty sure the secret to a great taco is 4-day-old macaroni. The bottom line, drunk you doesn't make great decisions. So you're risking a DUI or worse if you count on him to get you home. Plan before you party. Get home safe. Brought to you by Washington Target Zero.
Welcome back to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast. We are continuing with some more social media news stories. Our next story is about Kevin Spacey, and this is bizarre.
Yeah, it is. This could have went on Weird News, too.
Yeah, exactly. This could have gone on, Weird News for sure, because it is very strange. So, on Christmas Eve, Kevin Spacey, who, if you don't know, is an actor. He was most recently on House of Cards on Netflix. He released a video on YouTube that was about 3 minutes, and it was like a bizarre, it looked like holiday, almost an advertisement or something that would come on your TV to tell you a special message. And this video came on the heels of news that Kevin Spacey was due to be arraigned in January on a felony charge of allegedly sexually assaulting a teenager in 2016.
Yeah.
If you guys remember, Kevin Spacey had a whole thing with that where he was accused, he had allegations against him of sexual misconduct, and then people came out with other stories from his past, basically, of other bad things that he had done. When this news came out, the Netflix show House of Cards basically killed his character off screen and then did their last season without him. He was going to be in another movie, I think, that got canceled and was reshot with some other actor.
Yeah.
So he was just disgraced.
Yeah, it was.
It was, crazy times. So the video is basically already infamous. It's called Let Me Be Frank, which Kevin Spacey's character on House of Cards was Frank Underwood. And the video is Kevin Spacey decked out in a Santa apron, and he kind of has he sounds like his character Frank Underwood, which had he sort of had a southern drawl to him on the show on House of Cards. So it's kind of weird because you think maybe it is Frank from the show, but he's not on the show anymore and his character should be dead. So I don't know. And he delivers a direct-to-camera monologue. And again, it could be what he's saying could be about his House of Cards character, but it could also be about himself, about Kevin Spacey. But it's weirder because it's called Let Me Be Frank, which could be about Frank or just being left phrase, Let Me Be Frank.
Yeah, just
it's super weird. And people have taught, it's very strange.
He's a weird guy to me anyway, so I don't really like watching a lot of the things he's in.
He's already strange. I think he's a good actor. I just he's weird. Also, if you watch Will and Grace, the amount of times they talk about how Kevin Spacey
Yeah.
has basically done bad things to like men
Yeah.
comes up so many times, and that was way before the allegations went out public. So it sounds
Exactly.
like everyone knew about this and didn't do anything,
about
which is
it.
terrible, which is like Harvey Weinstein level of bad.
Right. And Kevin Spacey wasn't even that big of a person. I mean, he's people know who he is.
Yeah.
But not
Right, it's not
to
like
a point-
Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's so weird. Yeah, so again, it's weird because it could be his House of Cards character, could be him. People, I've read people have said it's also kind of like what's going on with Trump right now. So they're like making connections to like current political things. But then his House of Cards character is like vice president. I don't know if he becomes president.
Oh,
but he's also
weird.
in political things. So it's like could be so many different things.
Wow.
And again, he sounds like Frank Underwood. The video, like basically as we're recording this from yesterday, the video had, 7,987,518 views.
Wow.
Which is so many.
Where did he post it on? Like
Just on YouTube, on his own YouTube.
Oh wow.
Which is so weird. It wasn't even on like any other
social media platform or
thing.
anything like that.
It was just on YouTube. The video has more views than tickets sold domestically to either Paddington 2, First Man, or Widows.
Wow.
And like you probably can't, YouTube views can be a little misleading, but that's still a bunch.
Yeah, it is. What was he going off on? Like in the whole thing, what was he saying?
I have a quote. It's weird. I wouldn't say he's super direct about what he's talking about. He just kind of starts like we all know what he's talking about.
Like just starts rambling on.
The whole thing is him just monologuing.
Wow.
It's super weird. He's like at a sink in a Santa apron washing his hands, and then it kind of looks like he's carving like maybe a turkey or something, but you don't even see that.
What?
So it's like weird Christmas Eve things. I don't know.
Did he have something on other than the apron?
Yeah.
He's
He's wearing-
I'm like, what the weird? I just picture him with just a Santa apron. I'm like, please be more clothes.
Yeah, he has clothes on.
Okay.
With an apron over his clothes. That's a fair question, though.
Yeah.
I did not clarify that. That was true. So one of his quotes is, "I know what you want. Oh, sure. They may have tried to separate us, but what we have is too strong, is too powerful. I shocked you with my honesty, but mostly I challenged you and made you think. And you trusted me, even though you knew you shouldn't. So we're not done. No matter what anyone says. And besides, I know what you want. You want me back." Which is so creepy.
Who is he talking to? And
I don't know.
I feel like they don't want you back.
I feel like you got fired enough that people don't want
they
you back.
literally killed your character. So who else would you come back as?
Well, that's what's so confusing about this. Is it's like, is he saying his character Frank, like, you guys want me back, which can't happen again because he died and the show's over,
Right.
Or like Kevin Spacey, like because
Like in
he's
general,
like
huh?
in general, because he's being accused of all these things, and
We don't really care if you come back, to be honest.
I don't
Like,
care.
there are plenty of other actors.
right. I feel like I don't need Kevin Spacey to
No.
come back into movies again. Not that I'm saying he was a bad actor, but
No,
like I don't need that in my life.
It's fine. Your time has come and gone. You can move on.
It's so weird. So he basically does he breaks the fourth wall. It's a direct camera address, and also interesting is that the fourth wall breaking is something that happened like famously on the show House of Cards. Like his character would do that.
Like intentionally?
Yeah. So like the character was known, the show and the character was known for doing that, where
Okay.
he would just speak to the camera about things, almost like in a narration.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
That's
it's just weird. It's super weird. Does he even have the rights to do that? Like, isn't he taking copyright from that character? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, you can if you're just addressing it as you.
That's true.
But that's still so weird. Unless it was intentionally made like that, like Parks and Rec. Like that show is like, oh, we're being documented. So we can talk to the camera. But I've never seen House of Cards. So I'm just like,
okay. But I wonder, isn't his, I don't know. Anyway,
So weird.
he definitely hints at events from House of Cards, though, because he refers to events that happen in the show, like his character being impeached without trial after stealing the presidency, and that's an example because then he was killed off screen after after Kevin Spacey was fired.
Yeah.
Because he does in his monologue mention like being impeached without trial. So he's mentioning things that happen in his show directly to his character, but could also be like metaphors for other
him,
things. Yeah,
because
for
he got-
him.
Yeah.
So I almost wonder if he wrote this, because let me just say, if he wrote this, he is like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like he's a good creative like writer. If he wrote
right,
that,
exactly.
It's weird. And he delivers it well. Also, the video's not great quality. It's kind of weird. It's like okay, but it's very dark. Kind of like House of Cards.
Come on, guy. You're an actor. You know how lighting is supposed to go.
I also I wonder if he did that purposefully. I don't know. I have so many questions about
crazy.
this. So yeah, it really doesn't take a great leap of imagination to see that this clip really parallels like scandals on Kevin Spacey, scandals on his character Frank Underwood, and just everything that led to Kevin Spacey's dismissal from House of Cards.
Right.
As I mentioned earlier, he was also dismissed from a movie called All the Money in the World. And that was a Ridley Scott film that replaced Kevin Spacey with Christopher Plummer, and then in a bunch of reshoots, filmed it over with Christopher Plummer. And that's after allegations against Kevin Spacey came out last fall.
Right.
So strange.
Right. But still, even like impeachment without a trial, if you come out with some pretty interesting, like people are accusing you of some serious things, even if you're accused and you nothing happened, they still don't want to be associated with somebody saying like that. Like that doesn't happen. That happens to plenty of people, actually.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I feel like at that point your name has just been
dragged through the mud.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you can go back and like counter sue and all that, but still, that's bad publicity for
you'll never recover.
something. Yeah.
Right. You're right. Even if things like that happen or don't happen,
Yeah.
you're still not going to make a comeback from that.
Right. Good luck to you.
Yeah, I mean, although honestly, if Kevin Spacey did all these things, and I would say I probably agree with the people who were accusing him, then he shouldn't come back. He doesn't have a right to.
Yeah.
Not at all. Yeah, and I mean, he was great on House of Cards. I haven't watched all the show. I've watched a few episodes. He was really good, but I mean, whether you're a good actor or not, if you do terrible things like that, you don't deserve
get
to come back.
Yeah,
no.
that's
and
not fair.
this is an interesting video. I will say it's kind of like meta. Like it's weird. I suggest you watch it. It's on YouTube. It's just called "Let Me Be Frank." If you just type in Kevin Spacey, "Let Me Be Frank." Also, if you just type in Kevin Spacey on YouTube, you will get so many videos of people commenting on this video.
Wow.
It's really weird.
Now I'm going to have to go watch it.
You should. It is actually, I think it's pretty interesting. Like his monologue is well written, I will say. I found it interesting. I'm not saying it's like a piece of great literature, but it's interesting. I think it really is. So he hit on a vein that is very strange. And
Go ahead, Spacey. You can stop now.
That's what you're gonna do though before you go to jail. So
exactly. You better say.
You better live it up now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Super interesting. Again, if you want to watch it, I suggest it. And we're going to go on a break. But before we do, I just want to mention, again, this great deal that we have going on with Audible. It's a great way to just listen to some stories without having to take the time to sit down and read. If you want to, you can start a 30-day trial and your first audiobook is free. To get this deal, go to audible.com/GSMC social or text GSMC social to 500-500. Again, that is audible.com/GSMC social or text GSMC social to 500-500. Thank you. We'll take a quick break and then we'll be back and keep talking about social media news.
What happens to your decision making when you drink? Well, after one drink, you feel confident. A few more, and calling your ex at 1 a.m. seems like a great idea. And you're pretty sure the secret to a great taco is 4-day-old macaroni. The bottom line, drunk you doesn't make great decisions. So you're risking a DUI or worse if you count on him to get you home. Plan before you party. Get home safe. Brought to you by Washington Target Zero.
Welcome back to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast. We are continuing to talk about social media news. Our next story is about Miley Cyrus because it has been confirmed that she has married Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah.
They have been dating for quite a long time.
Quite a long time, exactly. I feel so bad for Liam that he chose that. Her. Sorry.
Well, they've been like together for like a decade, basically. On and off, though. It's been on and off. But they are officially wed. This comes a few days after their rumored wedding. The singer Miley Cyrus is 26, and she posted some photos of their very like small wedding ceremony on her social media accounts. In one snap, so I'm assuming Snapchat, I don't know. In one snap, the two of them, Hemsworth is 28, by the way, are all dressed up in their wedding best. Miley Cyrus has like floor-length white gown. Hemsworth is in a black tux, and the picture shows them kissing. And then in two other photos, you see at like another one, Liam Hemsworth has his arms wrapped around Miley Cyrus, and they're like in a quiet moment together or whatever in front of an altar, which is decorated with like roses and things like that. So it looks, I mean, they had a wedding. The photo is captioned by Miley Cyrus. It's like the photos of like them embracing and whatnot with the date 12/23/18. And then 10 years later, and then on the photo of them kissing, Miley Cyrus wrote, "This is probably our 1 millionth kiss." Also, Lee and Hemsworth shared the same photo, and his caption was "My love." So they're married. That's cute. Yeah. And then it was a very private wedding ceremony. Again, it comes after really an on again, off again relationship. Yeah. I believe they met. The movie was The Last Song, which I think that's when Miley Cyrus is supposed to be Hannah Montana or something. Yeah. So she in the film is Hannah Montana, the character that made her famous, and they play love interests in that film, which is where they met. And then Liam Hemsworth is Australian. As we all know, the Hemsworth family, they dated for years before he proposed in 2012, but then they ended their engagement and broke up a year later. Then they reconnected again in 2015. Their romance was back on by the summer of 2016, just like in full swing. They were having dinner with Hemsworth's parents. They were on date nights, spending holidays together. Also, until recently, the couple lived together with their 7 dogs, 2 pigs, and 2 miniature horses.
What?
Yeah, that's like a whole zoo.
Yeah,
that's
why?
a petting zoo. I don't know. I don't know why. And that was in their Malibu home, but the home burned down in one of the 3 devastating California wildfires.
Wow. Okay, first of all, so many pets, and who takes care of them? Because they're both working, like
I
actors,
don't know.
singers.
They
like,
probably have
wow.
someone who takes care of it for them.
Yeah.
Also, 2 pigs and 2 miniature horses, so that's 1 for both of them.
Yeah, why?
7 dogs, though.
I don't really feel like this is gonna last. I'm so sorry to say that, but because she went off on like a weird random let me do all this weird stuff phase for like 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, she had her weird her Robin Thicke performance, which was really inappropriate.
Right.
She's had her strange like dress choices.
Right.
Like she's been on talk shows with some very interesting outfits. I would say she kind of had like her crazy streak.
She really did.
Yeah, shaved her head, which is always the sign of a crazy streak.
It is, thanks to Britney Spears.
Yeah, it's
that
infamous.
She set that off.
Yeah.
Or was it Demi Moore in like G.I. Jane? Because she was kind of crazy. Oh
yeah, she did that too, and then had her weird crazy thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Stop shaving your head, chicks. I mean, unless you're doing a regrowth kind of series.
Yeah,
that's
you're
fine.
doing like the partial shave, but the whole head shaved, I feel like, is
Yes.
really not the fashionable choice.
It's not. Some of the ladies can pull it off.
That's true. I do think some women can.
But yeah, Miley, she was, and even when she was going off in like her little crazy rant, he's always been really low key in the media. Like, you don't
really
see
has.
a whole lot of him.
Because he did the Hunger Games.
Yeah, he did the Hunger Games.
Yeah, he's been pretty low key. I mean, especially some of the other Hemsworth brothers have done way bigger like movies and things. So, he's kept kind of a low profile. He's not. I mean, he's married to Miley Cyrus. I don't think he's not gonna stay out of the limelight now.
Oh no, she'll drag him everywhere. And everybody kind of already knew that, like, oh, Miley's with Liam, and then look at all the crazy things she's doing. And that would be kind of embarrassing. I'd be like, why?
Yeah,
no, stop, babe, stop doing that.
Right,
please.
I'd be like, please put a shirt on TV.
Exactly.
That's my personal take.
Exactly. It's like everybody has seen your wife.
I know. Well, I don't know.
Like a Kanye Kim thing. Everybody's seen your wife. You don't get to get mad about it. Yeah. Of course, he's not yet.
I know.
So.
Yeah, Liam isn't doing that. They probably just talk about that in private with their 7 dogs.
But I know, and the horses.
That's also
and
a ranch at that point. You have a ranch.
It really is in the middle of LA.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. Although the Malibu Hills, that's got to be nice.
Yeah.
She also mentioned her romance with Liam Hemsworth in her, I think it was her, did she put out a single? It was her song Malibu, where she talks about her relationship. So I would say congratulations.
Yeah.
I hope that things settle down a bit.
Right.
Also, I feel bad because their house was in a wildfire, so I really hope that gets straightened out, and I hope you guys can take care of your affairs in that way. Yeah, congratulations, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. Also, the last story I want to talk about is the government shutdown, and government workers are sharing about this shutdown on social media with hashtag Shutdownstories. These are pretty sad, to be honest. So, as many of you know, the U.S. government has been shut down at midnight Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, December 22nd in 2018. The government shut down and began the shutdown because neither legislation could appropriate funds for the upcoming fiscal year. They also couldn't come up with a temporary resolution. The shutdown was a result of a dispute over the amount and nature of funding for the Mexico-U.S. border, basically Trump's border wall.
Right.
And President Donald Trump refused to sign a bill to keep the government open. Also, he has been on social media, obviously, about this. He's been on Twitter talking about the shutdown. But other people have been on, federal employees in the shutdown. Because of all the gridlock and everything with the border wall and everything, the employees have been talking about how the shutdown has been hurting their livelihoods and their ability to pay for basic necessities. They're taking to social media with the hashtag Shutdownstories, basically to air their complaints about the shutdown, and to let the public and lawmakers know that getting paid really isn't easy for working families, especially during the holidays. Which, I mean, yeah, I could imagine the holidays can be an expensive time for everyone, especially right when you can't work. And it's not even because you don't want to work; it's because you can't work and you're not getting paid. So one of the posts about this was a mother worried about paying for her diabetic son's insulin treatments. Another was a mother who voiced concern about making rent without pay on her meager savings. Another government worker said he would have to choose between healthcare and rent if the shutdown persists. And one man in a now deleted tweet said the shutdown left him homeless. So,
already?
Yeah, I don't know. The shutdown, I mean, it is a now deleted tweet, so
yeah.
I don't know. The shutdown is estimated to affect 800,000 workers, 380,000 of whom are furloughed at home without pay, according to an estimate from the Senate Appropriations Committee. Other 420,000 federal employees are deemed essential and will have to keep working without pay through the shutdown.
So does that include the president in them?
I think, well, a lot of the president and Congress and whatnot, they usually take a holiday. So it's because they have to find funding before they go on their holiday.
Oh, okay.
And so they didn't. So that's kind of why the shutdown happened. But I think they're out for holiday maybe until the new year. But I mean, I'm sure, the president keeps working. I just don't know how his funding works. I mean, he should, if he's going to make a dispute about this and have other people not get paid, he shouldn't get paid.
Right. But didn't he say he was willing to shut down the government in one of his little rants?
Oh, yeah. He definitely was like, I will shut it down if they don't agree to pay this.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's what happened.
This guy.
Yeah.
This is horrible. I hope these
so
families
bad.
are okay.
And a lot of most government employees expect to eventually get back pay when the spending bill is passed and the government reopens. But government contractors aren't so lucky and are essentially jobless until then. So if you're an employee, you will probably get paid the amount of time that you haven't worked once a bill gets passed. But again, if you're a contractor, that's not going to happen.
So they get back pay.
Yeah, they would get back pay. The employees would get back pay. And President Trump has tweeted about the shutdown saying, do the Dems realize that most of the people not getting paid are Democrats? That's not proven to be true.
Right.
All of his tweets.
But he's always about blaming the Democrats. It's hilarious.
I know.
That's fine because the Republicans aren't getting paid either.
I know.
And the liberals and the independents.
Yeah,
It's really, come on.
Yeah, it's not good. So basically, here we go again. I don't want to read more of these tweets during the holiday times, but
it's horrible.
They're gonna keep coming.
Yeah, they are.
Hopefully, funding, somehow they work it out because people need to get back to work.
Yeah,
people need to get paid. Especially the holiday is such a hard time for that.
It really is, because a lot of people basically go broke trying to like fund things throughout the holidays. It's so funny. I saw a meme that said, "Oh, government is shut down, then why am I still seeing taxes getting taken out of my check?" I was like, touche. Federal and state. I thought y'all was shut down.
I know.
Give me my money back.
I know. Also, the last time the government shut down, there was the whole thing with like national parks being closed, and just like it's not good. People want to like if you have the government shut down, you don't get the things that our government is supposed to help run.
Right. Exactly. Or just have like things like parks to just go to and and just enjoy the outside.
Yeah, it's also rough that some people are deemed essential and have to work without pay.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the morale. That would be very disheartening. So I hope that can get worked out, and I hope that all those families can make it through the holidays and still have a good Christmas and a good New Year and whatnot.
Right.
And can be able to enjoy being with their family, and hopefully it's not too stressful. I know it's pretty stressful, but we're wishing you guys the best.
We wish you guys the best, seriously.
We really are.
Because there's a lot of other people that aren't in the government and they still work on very minimal pay and try and live off that too. So everybody out there, good luck.
It's rough. So we hope the 2019 brings some more helpful news.
Yeah.
That's going to be my shut off on this one.
Weird news on that one.
Oh boy. So thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you tune into our next episode.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Social Media Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us